Welcome to part 12 of the Red Special building tutorial. Today we'll be doing a little bit more rousing on the body of the guitar. We'll be following the installation of the input jack. Until recently, Brian May has had I think it's a Bakelite input jack on his Red Special. Due to the sound quality and deterioration and availability of these input jacks, he's just recently changed to a more reliable Switchcraft input jack. This involved a bit of modification to the inside of the guitar to enable it to fit. There are three types of input jack you can use on this type of guitar. Firstly, what Brian May has is a 1/4 inch input jack, mono type, made by Switchcraft. You can get these from All Parts UK in the UK, or you can get them from All Parts US. In the UK and the US, the part number is EP055-000. I'll put a little note on the video for that. It's around about £2.41, and it's quite a short thread on that to attach it to the side of the guitar. It comes with a washer and a nut. The second type is the same sort. It's a 1/4 inch input jack, mono type, but has a longer thread, around about 3/8 of an inch thread, so it's a little bit longer. Part number for this is EP055L-000. The price of these is £2.56. It has a longer thread on it, as I say, and gives it a bit more thickness to the sidewall, and this is the one which I recommend. The other type you will find in the Burns Brian May, and I'm sure probably the new Brian May type or make of guitar, or Brian May guitars, or BMG. These are notoriously unreliable. I think my Burns has had about 3 jacks in its lifetime, or in a year, sorry. If you want to go for these, you don't have to recess back the sidewall of the guitar to enable it to fit, which I will demonstrate in a little while. The part number for these is EP0151-000. These are quite expensive, £7.20, especially for something that's pretty unreliable. I think these are also made by Switchcraft. Anyway, now I will show you how to install the jack socket. Also in this video we'll go through the adjustment holes which are needed to adjust the tremolo, and also at the end of the video I will show you the recess which is needed for the penny washers, which are the final sort of clamping action which enables the two pieces of oak top and bottom layer to be fitted to the guitar. And I'll show you that also on the X-ray. Okay, firstly I've drawn on the side of the guitar here where the jack socket will go in. As I say, there are three types. You can use either one which you like, but I use usually a 1/4 inch input jack by Switchcraft. This involves some recessing back on the side of the guitar. I'll draw this on for you now so you can see. Basically the first one was an EP 0055. These have quite a short thread on them to attach them to the guitar. Basically I'll show you by drawing it on the side here. Basically if we went for the standard one, which is a 055, you'd have to recess back quite a bit. So basically you'd have to draw on a bit bigger scale here, recess back hopefully you can see that. You'd have to recess back so far there'd be pretty much nothing holding it in, and it'll probably break. Whereas the other type I recommend is the 055L, and the L stands for pretty much a longer thread. This means that you can route or recess back a little bit less, so you'd have a bit more to play with. So instead of being here, it'll be a little bit further back, about there. As you can see, the side wall has been increased in, and also it won't be liable to break and fail. So this is the one we'll probably use. Okay, this is the first stage of installing a jack socket. Basically you will need a 10mm drill bit, as you can see up here on top of the guitar there, with the ladybird on it. This is a wood drill piece which should suffice for this. You can see we've drawn a line down here so you can see where the midpoint is to drill the jack. It will go in between the two layers. This is clamped down with 2 G-clamps with some padding on top, as you can see, and we'll just start by drilling it with a hand drill. As you can see, we've drilled the 10mm hole for the jack. You can go about 11 or 12mm just for a little bit of play, but I think about 10mm will do for this. Next part we'll go on to is the recessing of the side of the wall so we can install the jack. Okay, next part is the routing. We'll be using a 3mm router bit, as this is quite a small area to cut out. We've given it around about 6mm from the wall to the start of the recess, which I feel will be sufficient to be able to hold the jack socket. Okay, as you can see, the routing has been done on both the upper layer and the bottom layer. As you can see, we've drilled the hole and we've also recessed it. When put together, it should look something a bit like this. As you can see there, you can see both parts together. You can see basically a square recess as to where the jack will sit. You can make this a slightly bit smaller, but at least if it's bigger than the actual jack, at least you got room to maneuver it and saw the wires to it, etc. But you can see there, it's basically recessed for the jack. Next part we'll go on to is the routing of the adjustments for the tremolo. Okay, the lines have been drawn on the top layer of the body here. You can see the middle line there and the two lines either side for the adjustment runs, where you can insert the screwdriver and adjust the bolts on the back of the tremolo. Again, this will be routed with a 3mm router bit. Okay, you can see the two channels here which go in line with the tremolo. I've brought my long screwdriver out to just check everything lines up, and I'll show you that it all lines up. Okay, on to the third, fourth, final part of the routing process, which is installing the penny washers. As you can see, there are two of them, and the penny washer is to the right of the red marked points where we will be routing. These, as I said before, basically act as a clamp to clamp the two pieces of oak together. These will be recessed about 3mm into the bottom layer of oak, and will be secured via two screws into the back of the oak. As you can see, the two holes have already been drilled, which means we'll be straight onto routing onto this part. Bit of routing. You can see the two penny washers in place now. All there is to do now is to screw them in to check everything is as planned.